All right, so we got another season 1 episode. It's called The Arsenal of Freedom, season 1, episode 20. And it's pretty forgettable, which means it's actually pretty good for a season 1 episode. Most of the ones you remember from season 1 are just terrible. And the Enterprise is investigating the disappearance of another Federation ship called the USS Drake. And they track it to around the area of an uninhabited planet called Minos. And they get hit with a pop-up ad of some weird guy who wants to sell them a bunch of weapons. And an away team beams down to investigate. I don't know why exactly. I mean, there's no intelligent life on this planet, so I don't know why they're bothering. And unless there's evidence of shipwreckage, doesn't seem like it would lead them there. But whatever. They end up being right because they explore and they come across a facsimile of the captain of the USS Drake. And he just asks a bunch of questions about how strong the Enterprise is. And he then says the Drake's top speed is warp 3, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't even know how we got out this far at warp 3. But that's getting into super nerdy territory. And the fake captain of the Drake turns into a giant wireless earbud that shoots laser beams. And it shoots Riker, and he ends up trapped in some fucking giant butt plug. Data and Yar manage to destroy the big earbud. And they ask why it stuck Riker in this butt plug, and the question is never really answered. Why Riker and not the rest of them, I have no idea. And at this point, Picard and Crusher beam down for some really unknown reason. I mean, I guess Crusher's going down to check on Riker, see if he's okay. But I have no idea why Picard is going down. And he leaves Geordi in command. And Data thinks he has a way to get Riker out of this dildo. But before he can do it, another one of these floaty fucking laser things attacks them. And Picard and Crusher are sent running. And Crusher throws her medical shit into a hole before falling in herself and dragging Picard with her. I mean, look at this. She just flung her shit into this hole. I mean, I don't know why that happened. It seems pretty stupid. And they land in this hole, and somehow Crusher is fucked up beyond all recognition. She's got a head wound. Her arm is fucked up. And her leg is broken. But somehow Picard doesn't have a scratch on him. I guess Crusher must have broken his fall. And she's covered in sand for some reason. And this is another episode that really puts forth the idea that Picard and Beverly are going to end up banging. Definitely seems like it. Seems like they're at least asking the question. And I figure, if you're asking the question, then you should probably just bang. If you could bring yourself to ask the question, then just do it. It's the future. I don't know what's with all these 7 seasons of inhibitions. I don't get it. Anyway. And Picard is looking around for Dr. Crusher's medical gear, but he can't find it. I mean, that doesn't really make sense because she clearly threw it into this hole. It's got to be down there somewhere. I mean, it looks like she did it on purpose. Like she's just quitting her job to go bang a ghost or something. Oh, wait, that's a different episode. And Data and Yar manage to kill the stupid thing that is attacking them again. And they get Riker out of his butt plug. And the episode shifts focus to the Enterprise, where Geordi is in command. And Geordi's not a chief engineer yet. He's only a lieutenant junior grade, so it's really amateur hour on the Enterprise right now. The youngest and most inexperienced crew members are in charge. And they're attacked by an invisible giant drone, similar to the ones on the planet, which is fucking nuts. But okay. And Chief Engineer Logan, whoever the fuck that is, comes to the bridge to try to get Geordi to relinquish his command. This subplot of this episode is pretty boring to me. I mean, it's just Geordi trying to figure out how to be a captain, while butting heads with this dude who is only in this episode. I mean, I don't know why we care. And I don't know. They just seem to have like kind of a weird rotation of chief engineers in season 1. It's really bizarre. And back on the planet, Data, Riker, and Yar are attacked by another one of these Bluetooth motherfuckers. And I think Yar needs to work on where she points her dustbuster. These really are the worst phasers, in my opinion, by the way. I'm glad they were really only in season 1. Anyway, the drone keeps getting more and more difficult to destroy. And a lot of this episode feels like a video game in that way. It's just increasing levels of difficulty. And in fact, Beverly comes up with the bright idea to find some plants to help treat her wounds. So she gets Picard to mix the red herb and the green herb. And I guess this fucked up homeopathic solution somehow helps treat her shattered femur. I mean, it could just be some fucked up variation of poison ivy for all they know. But whatever. And it's at this point that Geordi decides to separate the saucer section and send it on its way with the civilians, so that the drive section can stay behind and fight the drone. I mean, they really love to overuse the saucer separation shit in the first season. I don't know how this makes any sense at all. I mean, first of all, the drive section is not as strong without the saucer section. And the saucer section has no warp drive without the drive section. So, the drive section, if the drive section gets destroyed, the saucer section is stranded in deep space. I mean, I guess they could send a distress signal, but I still think it's pretty dumb. I mean, and it wouldn't even be an issue if they didn't have stupid families on the ship. Makes no fucking sense, but whatever. And on the planet, Picard finds the projection of the weapons peddler from earlier. And it's revealed that the people of this planet destroyed themselves with their obsession with advanced drones, which is clearly supposed to be some kind of cautionary tale about nuclear war. But what I don't get is the planet seems totally fine. I mean, there's all kinds of foliage, but somehow all the people were just wiped out, which makes it seem more like artificial intelligence to me. I mean, like there was an uprising, like, you know, Skynet. But Picard solved the problem by agreeing to buy the weapons from this guy, and then they just leave. I mean, I think he's going to be pretty pissed when he realizes he's not getting paid. Anyway, it's a weird fucking episode. And there's no sign of Wesley at all in this episode. I have no idea where he is. It's a shame, because if he was around, he would probably solve the problem in like 3 seconds all by himself. And this episode shows that they clearly had no idea what they were doing with Geordi. He's still sort of just a helmsman at this point. And I guess they thought he might have a future in, you know, being a commanding officer or something. But the entire subplot is about him figuring out how to, you know, be a commander. I don't know. Season 1 is pretty directionless. Anyway, that's all I got for now. If you run into any weird holograms that try to sell you space terminators, just say no. Just ignore them. Don't send an away team. Just get the fuck out of there. Warp 9.